Hello, everyone. Welcome to 5 O'Clock Tea Talk. I'm your host, Seda Tekeci, editor-in-chief of Coach Magazine Global, life coach and passionate advocate for meaningful personal and professional transformation. Over the past 2 years, I've had the joy of hosting some of the most inspiring voices in the coaching world. Throughout this journey, we had thought leaders, pioneers, deep thinkers whose work is shaping the future of how we grow and lead. And today is a special milestone, our 30th episode starting our third year. We are celebrating this moment with a very special guest, Dr. Altunay Ağaoğlu. Her journey, presence, and insights offer something truly meaningful, and I can't wait to explore the conversation ahead. Let me introduce our beloved, dedicated physician and classical homeopath with over 2 decades of experience in holistic and integrative medicine. Dr. Ağaoğlu is widely recognized for her work in treating chronic conditions such as migraine, fibromyalgia, allergic contact dermatitis, and allergic asthma. Her approach blends traditional medical science with the principles of classical homeopathy, aiming to treat not just symptoms but the root causes of illness. After graduating from Ege University Faculty of Medicine in 1997, she pursued further specialization in Germany, completing the course at the German Association of Classical Homeopathic Doctors in 2007. She currently serves as a board member of both the Classical Homeopathy Association and the Liga Modicorum Homeopathica Internationale (NLMHI), contributing actively to the global homeopathy community. Operating her own private clinic, Dr. Ağaoğlu combines clinical excellence with a deeply human-centered approach. Her philosophy emphasizes the power of natural healing and the importance of understanding the individual as a whole, mind, body, and spirit. Get ready for an insightful and inspiring conversation about alternative paths to healing, patient empowerment, and what it means to treat illness at its deepest level. So go ahead, grab your tea, settle in, and join us as we step into another rich and reflective dialogue. Before we start this session, I would like to encourage our audience to hit the subscribe button on our channel for more insightful sessions. Don't miss out on the captivating 5 o'clock tea talk. Hit the ring button and remember to subscribe. For more great content, visit www.thecoachmagazine.com and enjoy our quarterly magazines. Welcome, dear Altunay. Thanks for giving your precious time to share your insights with our audience today. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I mean, after a long day with the patients, what I love to do, to be with them, I enjoy to be with you here too. I mean, it's been
Thank
a long time that I've seen you, so it's so wonderful to see you again.
It was wonderful to be your patient, to be your student. I'm lucky to know you in person. Both my daughters and my mom were, and my niece were, well, still are your patients, and I was your student of the basic homeopathy lessons. I'm so glad that you accepted our invitation. I would like to start with my first question. You had an incredible journey in classical homeopathy. How did your interest in this field begin, and what continues to inspire you to work in integrative healing today?
Okay, it's a easy but also a complicated question. You know, I grew up in Germany when I was about 7, 8 years old. My mother and all the family, we went to Germany. My mother was a teacher there. So until the middle of high school, I was in Germany. And then I came back and I studied medicine in Turkey, in Turkey. However, my father stayed there, and when he was there, he had some heart problems. And while I was studying medicine, he told me he passed away 10 years ago, by the way. Several times he told me, is it okay? Okay. He told me that there's something like homeopathy in Germany that it's very widespread, and I had to take interest in it. And I said, nah, I don't, because it's coming from my father. There was some resilient as a teenager, you're 18, 19 years old. And I said no. And then but I heard the name homeopathy from him. Then when I was graduate, when I graduated in 2097, I didn't want to be a classical doctor, but I was so in depression. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to perform anything about classical, let's conventional medicine. So my family had those times a center for handicapped children, special children, and they were educating them. And I said, okay, I have nothing to lose. I can go there and help them as a doctor. And while I was just one day, it was about when I think about 99 or something like this, a mother of a student of a child came and she showed me some globally. She said, Dr. Altunay, you're a doctor, and a German gave me these things. I don't know what they are. And I know you can speak German. Can you please contact her and ask her what it is? And I said, okay, why not? I have nothing to lose anyway. So I called her. It was Rita Kaya. She is still living in Turkey, Izmir, and she is the first homeopath, not doctor, but homeopath in Turkey actually. And she was the one who started everything. And I called her and said, hello, and blah blah. I'm Dr. Altunay, and she was so amazed because I could speak German. I was a medical doctor. She said, I have to meet you. I have to teach homeopathy. And I said again, second time, the word homeopathy. And I said, okay, why not? Because I was in depression, didn't know what to do. And my journey started.
Um,
Actually, first I started to learn from her. Then it was, of course, not enough because I wanted to know more. And then, again, through her help, I went to the German Association in Germany, and then I started with the education. And with homeopathy, also my integrative medicine journey started because homeopathy is a holistic approach, yes, actually is really an alternative in many some areas, and it's also very integrative, but there are also other things, as you know, than homeopathy. And through homeopathy I learned many other approaches like reiki and other energy stuff and subconscious ways to look at the patients. And homeopathy is still my love, one of my loves. My husband is sometimes jealous because I say it's one my first love.
but
Okay.
he is a doctor too. He knows, he understands.
Yeah, because he's a chiropractor. He's a doctor of chiropractic. He's actually in UK at the moment teaching.
Yeah.
So he knows. He's also very passionate what he's doing in.
Yeah.
So he understands what I am feeling, I'm going through. So, and what continues to inspire, what I like in homeopathy, I don't know if the audience know homeopathy. Homeopathy is a holistic approach where you treat and heal. Actually, healing is something else than treatment. And we see the patient as a whole, and we don't treat or heal any disease. We just see there is a dis-ease. I mean, there is a problem with the balance of the body, and the self healing power is somehow out of balance. And homeopathy is trying to correct it, or just helping the patients to heal itself. So this way, it's amazed me every time with every patient, sometimes to see patients where the conventional medicine says, or where I learned from my education, it's not treatable. And then the patient comes today, for example. It was so nice. I have a patient, she had some problems with them and proteinuria and other her blood sugar levels, etc. Many things. She was taking many drugs for many years. She is was actually she's not working anymore, a nurse. And after 2 months she comes, oh Tuna, you can't believe it, I can't believe it, look, all my labs are normal, my sugar level, my protein levels, everything, the urine, there's everything is normal. I was also shocked, really. uh, because every time I'm very impressed, every time when there's something like this. So I love. to
Yes.
work with the patients in this
Yeah,
way.
maybe I can share my story with you too. My daughter, my older daughter, had this otitis media problem with her ears. Well, one ear actually. 3 months in a row, I took her to nose, ear, throat doctor, and all the time they gave antibiotics, and it reoccurred, and this time I said, okay, I'm not gonna give antibiotics to my daughter again. And my other doctor, Bige Hasan Usta, advised me to you, and I called your secretary. I got the appointment, and I brought her to your clinic. And after you listen to her for 45 minutes, I was even out of the room. You wanted to talk to her alone. I remember something like that, right? It was 7 years ago in 2018, I think. And then we started to use these little pills, little, what do we call them?
Globally, we say
Globally,
globals or
global
globals.
pills, yeah. And she, oh my God, first 5 days she was burning. She had this high fever, and my mother, everybody around me was so afraid that something's gonna happen to my daughter. They were like, we should take her to hospital. They should give this and that. I'm like, okay, I'm talking to the Dr. Altunay all the time on WhatsApp. She is advising me to do this. If she's hot, open her blanket. If she's thirsty, give her water. This kind of advices you were giving. And then after 5 days, like there was nothing happened. She just stand up and continued to her life. And I was like, okay, then this is it. But it was kind of a hard decision for a mother to get, not everyone can do this. I believe a lot of friends around me, I'm talking about this experience, they're like, I cannot do that. I probably die.
But it's not for every patient. Some, if it depends on the patient. If some patients had a lot of suppression through some medications, and if the patient's life force is very strong, this is a good sign actually. When you give the right remedy, the life force, the body wants to react and wants to fight against whatever there is and wants to show a sign. Sometimes it's a fever, sometimes it's a runny nose, sometimes it's just one day diarrhea. It depends on the patients. Most of the time, we don't have it all the time, but if we have it, then we are happy as a homeopath. There is a sign. And if we can pass this, if the patient is okay, I must admit, to be a medical doctor gives you this insight to know when and where to interfere.
Yeah.
If you see, I have patients where I say, okay, look, let's take an X-ray. I'm suspecting there is a pneumonia. We have to interfere. We have to use this, blah blah blah. Because as a medical doctor, you see the signs what
Yes.
the body shows, and if this is an advantage, so if I see a sign that is important, that is where I have to interfere, I don't say let's wait. But in your case, it was you had to wait because afterwards she didn't get any otitis media. So
Nothing at all. Exactly. I am so glad that we stopped using antibiotics since then. Well, one time again, it happened something about her throat, tonsils, I think, and you were away in the United States, and you advised us to go to the doctor and get antibiotics because you cannot surveillance us. So we did, and it's a very good thing that we are not against antibiotics. It's
no,
just
no, no, no. You have to know overuse is something else and using it in a correct place is something else. I have many patients, again, today, the patients that I told earlier, I mean, she uses medications against her diabetes, she's using medications against her other problems. I'm not canceling it, but I know after a while sometimes we start to reduce them, we change them. Some medications I never cancel because it's necessary. You can't do it
yes.
so it depends on the patients. If you know when to interfere and what to do, then it's like playing it's a tennis game. You have to know when to hit and where to hit.
Yes.
Sometimes you say, okay, I can't do anything anymore. There are patients where I say, I'm sorry, this is the end for me, I can't do anything.
Yes. Yeah.
It depends on the patients actually, but yes, it is it is important to know where to interfere and what to use when.
Yeah. I'm so glad we are talking about homeopathy.
For the safety of the patient, actually, at the end, it's not about the my success. It's not about the efficacy of homeopathy. It's about safety of the patients, because
Yes.
at the end, it's all about the patients.
And it increases the life quality of a
Yes,
patient.
this is the thing of homeopathy. And I have cancer patients. They are homeopath around the world, especially in India, Switzerland, and some countries who are treating, healing directly cancer patients. We are accepting them. In Turkey, we are not allowed to, and I don't take them just for
Mhm.
homeopathic treatment because I don't have the facility. I don't have the uh, time for this because you need more time with them. But I take them as to help them have more quality of life, side effects of the chemo and radiotherapy, and that they feel better about themselves and to overcome the shock and all the psychological things,
Yes.
stresses. So, as homeopathy does not treat any disease, we can work with every person and every disease as long as there is we say in Turkish nefes, there is a breath
Yeah.
that he's
Continue.
breathing,
Yes. Yeah, let's go to the next question. As both a trained medical doctor and classical homeopath, how do you balance both approaches in your practice? And homeopathy is a part of medicine and is not a part of it. Well, we talked mostly about it, but maybe.
Yeah, okay. As I'm just the immediate past president of LMHI, the World Homeopathy Association. And in LMHI, we always say, and also the other homeopathic associations around the world, we say homeopathy is a part of medicine. It
Mhm.
is not, there is nothing that this is conventional medicine, this is homeopathy. No, this is medicine. All are medicine because we are all dealing with patients. Just we are using homeopathic remedies, and the rheumatologist is giving cortisone and other things that he has because it's what you have in your hand. I mean,
Mhm,
if you have as a medical doctor, I have two things in my hand. I can use this and this or all together. This is my advantage, I think.
yes.
So homeopathy is a part of medicine. So being a medical doctor is an advantage because I can see when the patients come to me and says, I have this and this disease. I know from my knowledge as a medical doctor the prognosis. I mean, what to expect, how this disease is started, and if it's a genetic, if it can change or not, what to expect from the body. You know, uh, in many cases, even if we learned in conventional methods, it is not treatable. It is a chronic disease. You have to go live it with it all your life, like hypertension or rheumatoid arthritis or allergies. No, it's not the case in homeopathy. It's treatable. I mean, you
Mhm.
can change. But in some cases, for example, what can I say? Some Alzheimer comes, for example. I know it's not easy, also for homeopathy.
Mhm.
So I can say at least what I can do and what they can expect.
Mhm.
And this is an advantage as a medical doctor. And the other thing that we talked, I can manage the medicines that they use. I
Mhm.
mean, I can integrate the laboratory test and everything within my practice. This is an advantage.
Yes, I wish this conversation reach out to too many people because anybody around me, even though they see the advantages and the quality rise in our lives, they're like, is it really medicine? Is it really part of medicine?
It's medicine. The thing is, uh, how can I say it? If you look, to the world. The problem is the media and the people who are against homeopathy. They use, of course, the media a lot because they have power over media. The only thing that is attacked around the world is homeopathy, not
Mm.
acupuncture, not chiropractic, not osteopathy, not the other thing, not phytotherapy, not anthroposophic medicine. It's homeopathy only. Everything that is goes against anti-integrative medicine, anti-complementary medicine, it's always homeopathy, 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 because it works, because it's really, in some places it is alternative to the pharmaceuticals. This is, I have to say, this it's not sometimes we are not complementary, sometimes we are alternative. We are alternative in some, like in your daughter, we don't give antibiotics, we give homeopathic remedies, and they heal, and they need less and less pharmaceuticals, and the quality of life is getting higher. There are many, for example, for the last years, in the last decades, let's say, in homeopathy, there are many researches done, many very high quality researchers, and they say, oh, it's not science, it's pseudoscience, you don't have any researchers, it's placebo. It's not right. There are so many very high quality researches done. For example, there is a homeopathic research institute, which is a part of LMHI. It's seated in UK. They have every 2 years as congress, and they're coming to LMHI congresses every year, and they are conducting many, they are also supporting many researchers around the world. They are collecting all the research papers around the world, and there are so many very good randomized controlled, placebo controlled research is done, and
Mhm.
it's it is now shown it's not placebo. So, and I
Yes.
said in my last speech as a president, I said we have to go now to the second place and not say, trying to say to the people, we are not placebo, we are not placebo. It is already proven, 220 years people are in all around the world, more than 200 billion. It is the statistics of WHO. 200 billion patients are getting treated by homeopathy. 200
Wow.
billion. This is a lot.
It is.
It is. And it's getting more and more every year. In Europe, it is shown that, I mean, at least 50% of the patients, they used somehow in their time homeopathy.
Mhm.
Not everyone may be, but all the years, but sometime in their life. So
Mhm.
it is. So this means, why are the patients seeking for homeopathy? This means it's working. It's not only placebo. By the way, every treatment, every healing method has a part of placebo, and this is okay. And this is okay. If you can treat somebody without side effects, 50% of everything, even surgery, 50% nearly is placebo. This is a lot. This is also for antibiotics. I remember when I graduated recently from faculty. Some patients were saying, also we were talking and making jokes about it. The patients were coming and saying, I have headache and give me antibiotics. I said, oh, we were saying, okay, antibiotic is not going to help your headache. No, no, it's helping. Yeah, it's placebo, because they think when they take antibiotic, headache is going. So this is placebo. It's okay. Unless you don't harm, it's okay. What I was saying, so the most attack is coming against homeopathy, and it's really not placebo anymore, because recently it is more and more now, and there are also world associations and regional associations about it. There is homeopathy in agro culture. This means agro homeopathy, especially in Brazil and many other places now. They are starting to treat plants with homeopathy, and
Mhm.
they show in the researchers it's working. They are getting better. Or they are starting, I mean, there are many researchers and there are many veterinarians who treat with animals with homeopathy. How
Yeah.
can you say it's placebo if you
Yeah.
treat a plant or if you treat an animal?
Yes.
So I think we should be over now about the argument. Homeopathy is placebo.
Yeah, even my 3-year-old niece says to her mom when she doesn't feel right to herself and have a pain on her throat, "Mommy, give me a remedy, please. It helps."
By the way, the kids love it. I mean, all
Yes,
the kids who come to me, they always say, the parents say, they love your remedies. They want just your remedies.
yes. Okay. So we can talk about a little bit about your presidency or at the LMHI. What insights did that experience give you about the global state of homeopathy as a 3-year president, and how do you see its future evolving?
You know, I LMHI is Liga Medicorum Homeopathic International. It's the oldest and the only world homeopathy organization for homeopathic physicians, veterinarians, dentists. We have also a homeopath, a part of MMHI. It is nearly, we have members over 60 countries. It's like WHO. We have international council meetings, and representatives from all countries are coming, and we have for 100 years now we have congresses, all the only world congress around the world. So LMHI is changed a lot in my life. I became a member of LMHI in 2007, and I was the national vice president. This means representative of Turkey. And then in 2014, I went into the board. I became treasurer. Then I was the general secretary. Then I became vice president, and I served as the president for 3 years. Now I'm the immediate past president as a consultant in the board. And I have friends all over the world now. I mean, from Thailand to Brazil, from Russia to Canada, from South Africa to everywhere nearly. Uh, so it's and I learned a lot. Why did I learn that homeopathy actually is nearly everywhere? Even if it's not recognized, patients they are asking for it. And we struggle a lot. I mean, in some countries, it's not legal. There are so many attacks. So homeopathy is wanted and needed, and actually, and it shows us that it is actually future of it is a part of the future of medicine. Why? It is individual. You treat Seda, you treat Altunay, you treat Renzo, you treat Michael, you treat Anna. You don't treat migraine, allergic asthma, or rheumatoid arthritis. You treat a person. So it's an individual therapy. Like nowadays, the medicine is also going towards individualization because it's not helping anymore. It's just creating more and more patients and chronic diseases to treat one condition. So I've seen that we have struggles everywhere in the world. Ah, by the way, in LMHI, I was lucky to visit India, the heaven of homeopathy, actually, several times as a board member. And in India, there is uh, a different, just as like health ministry, there is a Ayush, there is a ministry for homeopathy. They have a minister for homeopathy, Ayurveda, yoga, Unani, and homeopathy. There's a different ministry, health ministry, and they have many research institutes, universities. Homeopathic doctors are graduating like medical doctors. This is a whole system. South Africa, I learned that it's like South Africa is like this, Bangladesh, and this region in India region is have the same. So homeopathy, okay, in Europe and US, it's getting less and less. They have, unfortunately, in Europe and US, we have less and less students. The
Mm,
patients are getting higher, but homeopathic doctors are getting less and less because of the attacks,
mm,
in the Western world. But the other parts of the world, and I learned this in LMHI, and so if we just look to the Western world, it's biased, You just see, just you just see there is less, there are attacks, there are less medical doctors, and there are so many against homeopathy, and there are less and less pharmacies on homeopathy. But if you just look to India, South Africa, South America, It's getting more. It's so popular in Mexico. It is a part of the medical treatment system. It's older than Europe, for example. So you see, homeopathy is growing actually. It's not getting less, it's growing and it's growing. So this showed me a lot. And what I've seen as the president and seeing all the world scenario and seeing what's coming with the AI and everything, I think with the integration of AI into the medicine and other systems in the future, medicine and medical doctors will have many problems. It started already, because the AI, the ChatGPT, can treat and diagnose
A
many
lot of
things
things.
much better,
Yes.
unfortunately. But there was a presentation in the last NMHI Congress where they have showed in from Hong Kong, China. Somebody showed, and they, I mean, not in detail, but very shortly, they compared treatment, selecting of a remedy of a homeopathic doctor and ChatGPT, and they saw, for example, it's not able to find the right remedy, even if because it's cheating, it's lying, lying, that inventing some symptoms, etc. So it is needed AI, but because it's a tool that helps us, like this computer, like this handy, it's a tool, but it's not the aim.
Mm-hmm.
If you give all the power to it, then you are just a slave of it. But
Yes.
if you use it wisely, then it helps you.
Mm-hmm.
So AI will help homeopathy a lot, but it will never be able um to replace a homeopathic doctor's wisdom and
Yes.
insight into a
Yes.
patient. And in the future, and it is cheap. I mean, if you get if a in India, we see that many patients are going to homeopathy because it's also cheap for the government. You treat the patients, but the expenses are less.
Mm-hmm.
And for the future, if homeopath changed it was a presentation like this also with the future of homeopathy. And in LMHI, we asked about 40 masters and leaders in homeopathy around the world what they think about the future of homeopathy, what's going on. And they all said we have to be more we have need more research, better education, and integrate AI, and then the future is brighter for homeopathy.
Yeah, I believe in that so heavily. That's why I'm doing this conversation with you. Uh, you also organize healing retreats, blend coaching, metaphysics, and nature. Could you share more about that participants' experience during these retreats and what transformation you witness most often?
The first, I have to say why I'm doing this. Treating, I mean, healing, we say healing is something else, treating a patient is something else. Uh, to be to heal and to be able to help a person to heal itself and go to transformation, homeopathy is a wonderful tool, but it's not enough, like many things. Because uh, and I went into metaphysics, in this spiritual thing, because it was, I mean, I also had in my childhood the conversation with my father and everything. I part of me was in pro of it, and I was used to it, to have some philosophical things in my life. um, to understand the patient, to help him or her to go through a healing process, and to be a light, to enlighten them road where they walk, because I'm not able to let them walk. They have to walk it alone, because the patient is responsible, not me, for the healing. I'm just there to guide them, to uh, reach my, I mean, to show, give them my hand, but they are the person who have to reach my hand, stand up, and walk. I'm just there to give my hand. So I realized that I need more. I have to know more about human, to be more human, and this is being interested in spiritual part, in philosophy and other things, and Sufism, and the part of Islam, of spiritual part of Islam. And I realized I need to go more into a subconscious and spiritual part of the humanity and the human, because this way, I mean, because the patient is coming to you and they are not just asking mechanical things. Take this remedy, don't drink this, don't eat this. It's not enough. You have to, I mean, I realized you have to touch their heart. If you touch the heart of a patient, then they open it. When they start to open it, trust becomes very important in healing. And then just saying few words and just guiding them, showing them, giving them a mirror. Look, this is you. You have to treat this, because every dis-ease starts with a thought form. There is a thought form, and the thought form develops in the subconscious. Comes then the feelings and the emotions, etc., and then it becomes obvious in the body first, but it starts here. Then it comes like an iceberg. When we see the disease, it's already started many years ago with the thought form. And most of the thought forms, the problems, the whatever starts in the childhood. So then I said, Altunay, you have to learn more, because for my journey, actually, everything what I did is for my journey. So going deep into this area, in this metaphysics, esoteric, spiritualism, subconscious things, I learned many things, and I wanted, and still want to, for example, dreaming, etc. I also do a lot of dream stuff, because it's a language of the subconscious dreams without interference of the ego. Uh, I said, okay, I want to share my journey. So maybe in this case, it can help them to go their way. So I started to do some Zoom sessions, seminars on this, also some retreats sometimes. After, if some people they are ready, they could come to the retreats. And after this, when they do this, if they are ready, of course, like everything, like Tapduk Emre says, if you are ready to wake up, a stone, a letter, a bird, everything can wake you up if time comes. So if time comes for somebody, and if they come there, you see how they see themselves on the mirror, and take their all the responsibility with all their vulnerability of their life, and say, I want to change it. And then the change starts. This happens like this in my life. I take for everything responsibility what happens in my life. And I don't like to blame anybody or government or any institution. I always say, what can I change? What is there to be changed? What can I make better? If not, if I can't change anything, then I always say, then I pray. This is the least what I can do. But being the victim, or saying, this is not my fault, everybody, he's the fault, then I can't change anything.
I always share your wisdom words with whoever I came across. Once you told my mother, actually, I brought her to your clinic for her allergic treatment. And she was had this running nose, tears in her eyes because of the allergy, all the thing. And she said she is minding other people's opinions a lot. And you told her, these people that you care about, care a lot, that if something bad happens to you, they are going to think about you only 15 seconds, only 15 seconds. After that, they're going to continue to live their lives. And that was a awakening moment for me. That was a shock. Even though I thought I wasn't, taking into considerations others' opinions a lot, but it comes with your DNA, from your roots,
Of
from your
course.
family system and everything. I was like, yes, this is it.
Really, I mean, in Turkey, this is a problem. People give too much care. They care too much what other people said. I mean, what we say it's word for el alem, we have say word for this only. But at the end, think of yourself. If you see somebody on the street doing something, or if your neighbor did something, or if you hear your brother or sister is doing something, you just maximum you will think 1 minute. Then you will think about yourself only. But this is the way of the functioning of the brain. We always think about ourselves. Even if you are concerned for your child, you are not able to think about her or him for hours. I mean, if you do it, then it's an illness, by the way.
Yes.
I mean, this is an obsession. Then we say. But we always keep on thinking about ourselves. I mean, a day, it is says, a day, a person creates about 9,000 words a day. We think. Do you think this 9,000 words, it's only about one person? Actually, it's all about us and what's going on, blah, blah, blah. The ego is talking, you did this, many things. So, and
Yes.
of course, all this work that I'm doing with myself, for myself, about my awakening and my spiritual path, I use all those insights that I gained to let the person, the patients, remember about themselves, because we know everything, Seda.
Yeah.
We came knowing everything. We just forget it.
That's what I think.
We are just here. I mean, a healer or a spiritual guide. I mean, I don't believe in such things, in spiritual guides, something like that. But they are just here, a book or a doctor or I or you. We just let them remember what they forget.
Yes.
So, and what I remembered along my journey where I was working, I'm 51 years, I'm now on this planet. I'm not saying I'm 51 years old. I'm 32 years old, 33. But I'm 51 years, I'm here now. But what I learned, what I remembered all the years here, and what I used as a tool, I like to share with the patients. So maybe they can use it for themselves too. And this is like, the history about the starfish, you know it? I mean, a person is walking on the
Yes.
beach, and after a storm, there are many starfishes out there. And then he's taking one by one into the sea, and one person comes, asks, "What are you doing? It's nonsense. Look, they are kilometer long, so many fishes. How can you help everything?" And he says, "I cannot help everyone, but those I can help, I will try my best."
Yes.
And this is it. I mean, trying to be the best.
It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing and making us remember this story. You're also kind of a life coach as well, from those things
As we
that we
talk.
talked about. How does coaching complement your work as a physician and healer? In what ways does it support long-term well-being, you think?
As we talked, as I said, I mean, whatever, healing is not only with remedies. People have to take responsibility of their life, changing their diet, changing their life habits, sleeping habits. It's very important. And to do this, they have to take responsibility. To take responsibility is very, it's not easy to say, to be accountable, because we are accountable. Accountability and responsibility is a little bit different in English. To be accountable means to take everything what's happening around you are you are accountable, you are responsible of it. Responsible is just to respond when something comes, you respond. But to be accountable is, even nothing comes, you say, okay, this is my life, and I
Being
take care of
proactive.
it. Yeah, it means more proactive. So it's not easy. It hurts.
It takes
uh,
action.
it takes action, and it hurts because it means those fires that are now in Turkey, in Izmir, happening. This means I am accountable too. I mean, everyone is accountable, because you know one thing, the one trash you throw away, or one thing when you say nothing to municipality, to anything, that this means you are accountable. So I have to take this responsibility. And I mean, part of healing is taking all the accountability and responsibility of your life. To be able to change, you have to do it. And to make this, you have to show them. And as I said, so it helps me a lot, because also to find the thought form where all the problems started. For example, again today, a patient, I'm going to change the symptoms, everything. She has some panic attack and some headaches and nausea and many symptoms, and she get treated for many things all the year. I mean, to the last 20 years, and she was a medical doctor too, is a medical doctor. And while we were talking and talking, she went to many things. She went to hypnosis and to acupuncture, blah, blah, to many things, psychiatry, psychotherapy. And suddenly, while we were talking, when everything started, we went back, back, back. And she said, she keeps on saying, when I was in the third year in the university, I did it. When I was in the third year in the university. And I said, what happened in the third year in the university? And she said, nothing. Nothing happened, nothing extra. And then she started to talk about something else. And suddenly she talked about that something very important. How can I say? She went to uh, to a dentist, and something extraordinary happened there, and she had a shock, and she had to close herself, and she hid in behind. It was something, an earthquake or something like this, and she had to. It was a fear, big fear, but she totally forgot it. And then
Oh,
she realized, fuck, she said, sorry. It started after this. Everything started after this. And this is something, showing them. And then we talked about the feelings, what started there, and etc. And those realizations help a lot.
yeah.
It's a part of the healing. Giving
Yes.
them remedy is sometimes not enough. What I
Hmm.
realized.
It's holistic.
It's everything all together. And sometimes, you have to you know not everything is remedy. If a patient is sitting all the day 10 hours in front of the computer because of her work or his work, and eating junk food and not moving at all, how can I help him or her with the constipation? She has to take he has to take responsibility and change this habit.
Yeah.
No remedy will help him. Or I have patients, they are coming, they are drinking 3 4 cups of coffee every day, and the Turkish tea, it's popular in Turkey, and they don't drink a water at all. And then they expect, I have headaches. And I said, okay. Or I have stomach pain or constipation. I said, okay, we have to change your habits. I mean, if they don't do it, I can't help them. You
Yes.
know?
Yes. At least you have the knowledge to help them navigate their lives if they're willing to change.
Yes.
You give the advices, like if somebody is sitting in front of the computer, they can find a standing table
Of course,
at
standing
least.
table, every
Yeah.
30 minutes or 45 minutes, at least 1 hour, they can stand up, walk a little bit, make some movements, move their heads, or just jump a little bit.
Yes.
Things like this, very easy things, jumping or standing up. We are designed to walk, not sit.
Yeah.
Human
Not
body is designed.
psychology itself only, not the
No,
physiology only, not the chemicals only, not the spirit only. Everything together makes it kind of holistic healing.
but it starts from one point. It's like the chicken and egg problem. We don't know where it started. Did chicken came first or the egg
Yeah.
came first? Now the science know it now, but it's so. Somewhere we have to start. We have to put a stick into this wheel and stop it
Yes.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes
It
it's
doesn't matter which place, but start
somewhere.
somewhere
But
at least.
and then if something comes, then the other thing has to change. It's easier for the patient.
Yeah. Once the awakening starts, once you learn, you can't unlearn. So it always, hopefully,
Un-
upwards.
Unfortunately, there is
No.
always a saying, unfortunately, if you're awakened, you cannot undo it. And sometimes it's painful. If you know it, you know it.
Yeah. So this brings me to my last question. We also heard you enjoy painting as a hobby. How does art and creativity play a role in your personal healing growth journey? And do you encourage your clients to explore their creative side as well?
Yeah, of course. Ah, you know, my father and my mother, they were very creative people. My father were, I said were because my father died. My mother is still there like this. My father was able to play every instrument, even if he didn't know it before. When he took it in his hand, he was able to play it. He was very, very talented. So I think I have also this thing with uh, creativity urge in me. I like to. So all my life I did something. I mean, I went to play ney. I mean, I don't know, the Sufi instrument, piano, and many things. But for the last 10 years, what gives me a lot of joy was painting. I mean, the last 6 months, I was not able to go due to some things. But everywhere in my office, my house, my everywhere is full with my paintings. I am a human too. I have to relax somewhere after listening 8 hours people. So painting, when I paint, I forget everything. It's just the painting and me. It's just a meditation for me. And I enjoy a lot. I like to work with I like my painting changed a lot. 10 years ago it was totally different. I was not having patience to paint details. I was making very abstract paintings. Now I like to paint very details because I have more patience. So yes, I think everyone, even if it's sport, exercising or painting or trekking or walking, anything, I suggest my patients to do something, knitting or something like this. I don't know, or cooking, because it's a kind of meditation. We have to go out. Healing occurs when you are not looking at it.
Hmm.
I mean, why are all these meditations, recreational things, painting, everything, or just this diverting your attention to another place? This helps the subconscious and the body heal actually what the problem is. If you keep on looking at the problem, it will not heal. It's more obsession. It will get more and more worse. But you hear some miraculous healings. For example, cancer patients, other patients, miraculously they healed. And if you look to their life, they forget their illness and they say, "Okay, I'm going to die. Okay, I'm not going to have any child anymore. I will enjoy my life. I will do painting. I will travel the world. I will just do gardening," and suddenly they get healed. Why? Because they accepted their problem and they said, "Okay, I'm going to change. I don't know what. I'm going to enjoy life." So directing the attention to another place. This is all painting and everything. Hobbies, they are therefore very important.
I,
So
I I remember one person, I don't know her in person, but I heard from my brother because he's a tennis coach. He used to be a tennis coach in Culture Park Tennis Academy. And this lady, over 70 years old, had cancer. She didn't care about it. She continued to play tennis. She attended the tournaments. And after some time, she said she's cured with nothing. She didn't go to chemotherapy or anything. She just didn't think about her cancer.
it doesn't mean you don't have to, because the main thing is the subconscious must really forget about the illness, accept it, but then, because if you are keep on, "Okay, I'm not going treatment, what's going to happen? I have cancer, I have this." If you keep on thinking and thinking, yeah, so it doesn't mean, I want to say here, if you have an illness, forget about it, don't get treatment. But it's about the attention. Where is your attention?
Yeah.
Where your attention is, you are enforcing it. you give it force, you're making it bigger. So it's not only for illnesses. We have to be careful. What are we giving power to
Yeah,
during
yeah,
the
yes.
life, during
This
the
can be
day?
the last wisdom words from Dr. Altunay Ağaoğlu. Thank you so much for your precious presence
Thank you.
and
And
your
it is
insightful
my
wisdom words. Oh, hello.
pleasure. I love animals.
Yes, and we are so delighted to have you here as our 30th guest. And thank you so much.
I thank you. I wish you luck, and I hope you will be a beacon for many people.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And
Okay.
before I end this session, I still again would like to encourage our audience to hit the subscribe button on our channel for more insightful sessions. Don't miss out on this captivating 5 o'clock tea talk. Hit the ring button and remember to subscribe. For more great content, visit www.thecoachmagazine.com and enjoy our quarterly magazine. See you in our next session. Bye.